One of these days, I'm going to do my very own personal top 10 best crappie fishing lakes in the entire United States. And when I do, the lake just over my shoulder will definitely make the list. Tons of good-sized crappie swimming all over the place right behind me, and we're taking you out there to help us catch some of them. Glad you're along with us, everybody. Lots of fun coming because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey everybody, welcome to beautiful Weiss Lake. It's on the border between Alabama and Georgia, mostly in Alabama. This lake is 30,000 surface acres and about 450 shoreline miles. It's spread out all over the place. It's one of the best crappie fishing spots in the entire United States, year in and year out. In fact, that boat headed out in the background is one of my good friends. That's Lee Pitts. He's one of the best crappie fishing guides anywhere on the lake, and he's going to help put us on some crappie today. So I'm really glad you're along with us. We're going to have a lot of fun in the next half hour right here in the state of Alabama. While we're doing that, taking that Nitro Z19 out there, and we're taking you around your local region for your fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters right where you live. This is going to be a lot of fun. Right now, let's get you to the FSN studios and your weekend planner.
Hello everyone. The Salooner tables are indicating that Sunday is the best option for fishing this weekend. Conditions are listed as good with peak game fish activity anticipated to begin at 11:23 a.m. and 11:50 p.m. The sun will rise at 7:12 and set at 7:32. And evenings will feature a crescent moon that is only 15% visible. We're coming right back with fishing reports from around the area. Plus, I'll return with catfishing expert Chad Ferguson to answer this week's Ask the Pro question. Stay with us.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Motor Guide, because accuracy matters. Lowrance Electronics, celebrating 60 years of fish finding excellence. Find, navigate, dominate. And Excite Technologies, powering the world forward.
I've got speed set up on my Lowrance HDS unit up there, and I'm trolling about 0.7, 0.8 miles per hour. Fish on, fish on, fish on. He's got it, he's got it. All right, we got a fish. There he is on top. These crappie jump. Haven't seen jumping crappie like this, but caught a few of them. Now I've got him skiing on top. It's a decent keeper crappie, looks like. Oh yeah, that's a decent one. Let's see if I can slip the net under that fish. All right. All right. Well, here we go. We've made it out. We've gotten set up. And we've got our first Lake Weiss crappie, and that's a good specimen right there. He's got that bright colored Cajun cricket Bobby Garland bait on there. Got him all wrapped up around the line, but we'll get him off. Well, let me explain a little bit about what goes on here at Weiss Lake. I tell you, I'm gonna put that fish in the live well. We're not gonna take it home, but some of Lee Pitts' clients might really like adding that to their arsenal, but that's a good one to get it started. We've got a big 14-foot long Lew's Wally Marshall Signature Series rod and a slab slayer reel, and I've got a shorter rod, 11-footer, right behind it on either side of the boat. So I've actually got a spread of 4 rods across here so I can cover a wide swath of water. And I've just got my trolling motor down, trolling down through here, and I'm watching my speed. I've got speed set up on my Lowrance HDS unit up there, and I'm trolling about 0.7, 0.8 miles per hour. And we're just covering water. And you've got to figure out the depth that the crappie are on any given day. That one was up in about 8 feet of water right there. We're going to put that one in the live well. Let's get you started with fishing and lake reports from where you live. That's a good one right there.
Hey guys, this week's Tennessee and Kentucky Report is brought to you by Orion Coolers. You know, buying a cooler is an investment, so why not invest in something that's going to last forever? Why not invest in something that you can customize to suit your needs and your lifestyle? And why not invest in something that just looks so much cooler than everybody else's? Well, you get all of that and so much more in an Orion cooler. They're customizable, they're made in the United States, they last forever, and they just flat out perform. Check them out at orioncoolers.com. You know, the fishing in Tennessee and Kentucky is actually pretty spotty. You may notice I'm wearing a hoodie in September right now, so we're jacked about that. It's cool, it's comfortable. So here's the thing, if I'm in Tennessee and Kentucky right now and I wanted to go have a good time and catch some fish, I would go to Center Hill. The big spots and smallmouth are starting to bite. It's a topwater thing, which is awesome. Kentucky Lake, lots of crappie being caught right now pulling crankbaits. The fish are starting to transition a little bit up to the shallower spots, so get on the edges of creeks and ditches and troll right on the top or right off the edge. About a 3XD crankbait's pretty perfect for that. And Dale Hollow, the nighttime bite is always awesome there, but kind of like Center Hill, those big brown fish are starting to bite a little bit too. Gibson County Lake in West Tennessee's kicking out some giants right now, and man, it's been the year of Reelfoot Lake. So check them out, Blue Bank Resort, my buddy Billy Blakely over there. Guys, it's a good time to be here in Tennessee, Kentucky. God bless, go Vols.
Doing some long lining so far this morning, and it's just a speed critical deal. You adjust the speed to control the depth that the swimming jig goes. And there's a bite right there. I'm getting a lot of bites. Yeah, he's got it. Boat, there he is up on top. Bite in here, baby. Just a small one. He might be a keeper, but we're not gonna keep him right there. There's one more for you. You just go along here and basically I'm a boat driver because I'm just controlling the speed with my wireless trolling motor, with my my Motor Guide XI5. I just cast it out there, feed line out. I'm letting it run about probably 30 yards behind the boat and then controlling the speed to control the depth and trying to keep it just up off the bottom. Stay with us. We're coming back to Weiss Lake, Alabama after this. Come aboard. There we go. Well, he would be a keeper. Not that many boats out here today. Last time I was here, this place was, there's a fish covered up. All right, I got something going. He doesn't feel very big, but let's get him up top and find out. There he is, way up on top. Come aboard. There we go. Well, he would be a keeper anyway, not big by any means, but he would easily be about an 11-inch or so, something like that. Well, if you're in fact, I'm going to put him in the live well real quick. And if I can find it in the archives, I want to show you real quickly what it was like 2 years ago when we were here. This place was absolutely covered up. There were probably 100 boats in this one big creek arm of the lake that we're in right now. But one thing, if you're coming to Weiss Lake, is you've got to be prepared to be fishing around a lot of folks, a lot of other boats, and it really doesn't seem to bother the fish at all. But you've just got to kind of migrate with the fish, and a lot of times you can just tell by where the army of boats are as to where the fish are. So even if you don't have a guide or don't have any information, if you just get out and drive around and find where there's a big group of boats, chances are you're going to have crappie around there. We're just experimenting with speed right now, and it seems like about 0.8 or 0.9 miles an hour is the speed that we need to troll these jigs in order to get bit. Let's get you some fishing and lake reports from an insider reporter near you.
This part of the program is brought to you by Egret Baits, makers of the new Voodoo Mullet. The Voodoo Mullet has a serrated body wiggling action that fish can't resist, and it comes in 2 sizes to match the hatch wherever you're fishing. So try a Voodoo Mullet and let the fish do the rest.
Well, finally the weather settled down a little bit, and hurricanes are out of the Gulf Coast, and the fishing has really picked up. The Spanish mackerel jacks and bluefish are available along the barrier islands off the coast of Mississippi. But the big news in Mississippi is redfish. Over in Biloxi Bay and Pascagoula Bay and Bay St. Louis, there's plenty of redfish being caught, lots of slots, and there are some bulls beginning to show up farther offshore. But the bulk of the redfish are the slot fish that people want to catch and keep anyway. They're catching them on jigs, soft plastic, jerk baits, and also live baits. The trout fishing has been good in the off Mississippi. Look again around our barrier islands has been good. Try to find clear water areas where there's bait. In Alabama, they're still catching cobia around some of the anchored ships that are off Mobile Bay. And when you're looking for cobia and checking out those areas to catch those big lang that are great eating, keep your eyes open for tripletail. Have an outfit set up for tripletail. Live shrimp is the best way to go for them. And in Georgia, it's tarpon, and more tarpon. Captain Greg Hilders is on top of it, and in good weather, when the water is reasonably clear and the bait pods are stable, he's catching 3 to 5 fish every day. Well, that's it on the coast. Get out in the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
This week's Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi Freshwater Fishing Report is sponsored by Southern Saltwater Fly Fishing Magazine. This destination-oriented e-zine covers the great saltwater action on the South Atlantic and Gulf Coast from Maryland to Panama and the Caribbean islands. Subscriptions are free at www.southernsaltflyfishing.com. Now, the dog days of late summer are hanging on in the deep south, and the temperatures in the air are still in the mid to high 80s. These kind of conditions mean that catfish are still biting across the 3-state region. In Georgia, a great place to tangle with a trophy flathead catfish is the Altamaha River near the town of Jessup. These fish regularly top 50-pound marks. Look for deep holes on the river and anchor upstream or get on a sandbar above them. And this is particularly good if it's in the outside bend of the river with an undercut bank. Use a live sunfish for bait and drift this rig into that deep water. You want to raise and lower your rod tip to keep that bait fish swimming with the current. You need heavy tackle for this fishing, like 60-pound test lines, 6/0 hooks, and a heavy sinker to handle the current and the big fish. For a big blue catfish this week, you'll find those feeding on Alabama's Logan Martin Lake near Birmingham. Look for the deep holes near the creek mouths upstream of the I-20 bridge. For some Mississippi largemouth fishing this week, Eagle Lake near Vicksburg is the place to be. You want to fish late afternoons for some good topwater action.
There's one. Yeah, we got one of them anyway. All right. There's your Weiss Lake crappie. There are lots of ways that you can catch them out of Weiss Lake, and I decided to switch it up, do a little something different. As you can see right behind me, I came to try to shoot a couple of boat docks. So I've pulled up in here with the sun's out, bright, sunshiny day, and that shade of the boat dock is what'll get them a lot of times. And so what I did was shot it way back up under that dock, eased it back, and one got it. Boat dock shooting, just another way you can catch them right here in Alabama. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than a boat, it's a tracker. Mercury Marine, go boldly. And Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there.
All right, there's one for you right there. There's one. All right, I've got him. Come up here. Good crappie. All right, there's one for you right there. Welcome back, everybody. We're still with you on Weiss Lake today, catching some good keeper crappie today on one of America's best crappie lakes. And I've kept some today. I think I'm gonna put that one back. If you're coming here, the fish have to be 10 inches minimum length limit, and you can keep 30 per day per person. So it's a very liberal bag limit here. And you can, I'm amazed coming to different places how people catch them. You can catch these crappie lots of different ways here. We've caught them long lining. You can still see I've got my long line and rod holders up here, but no rods in them. We caught them shooting docks, actually dock shooting where you pull back the rod. This is actually my dock shooting rod right here. I'll show you the gear later, but we caught them where you actually pull the rod tip down with the bait, shoot it under the docks, caught them that way. And now we're just pulled up along a steep rock bank here, just pitching up against the rocks and pulling it back. In fact, a couple of gentlemen behind me are from Kentucky, and they're just catching them one right after the next. It's just the variety of different ways that people catch them. Back where I come from in Texas, we catch them a lot out of brush piles. I don't see anybody brush pile fishing here. They're pretty much open water fishing, and these crappie follow the bait. So if it's summer and winter, they follow the bait deep. If it's spring and fall, they follow the bait shallow, and we're catching them right up against the bank right now. Lots of different ways to catch them right here on Weiss Lake in Alabama. Let's get you fishing lake reports, see what the fish are doing where you live.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas report, brought to you by the Dead Dog Saloon. Remember, you're in the Carolinas and along the Grand Strand this fall. Make sure you put us on your list of destinations to visit. We're open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And here, it's always about the food, the view, and the music. Let's talk about freshwater throughout South Carolina. Right now, if you're a bass fisherman, you're loving it. It's fall, it's that time of the year. The temperatures are starting to fall. Those fish are in that fall mode, and I'll tell you what, for me, it's almost like a pre-spawn mode. I'm finding them right now in our creeks back here, way back in the creeks with bait, and I can have a great time right now throwing a floating worm, bubblegum or white for me, and I'm throwing a black buzz bait and having a lot of luck right now. Get out on your lake and have some luck as well. Also, in the freshwater side of things, the catfish have come out of that spawning mode, and we're seeing a lot of big fish being caught. Stevie Pack down at Pack's Landing is having an incredible time. Zach Royce up on Lake Gaston it's still just incredible how many big fish he catches up there. If you don't follow him on Facebook, you need to find Zach and make sure you keep up with him. He goes live and he shows you exactly how he's doing it. Also, with that full moon that just passed as well, those shell crackers and brim are going to be getting on the beds. I've smelled them the other day when I was in the river. Get out with a cricket or some worms, you can have a great time. Make sure you take a kid with you. They'll love it as well. This has been your Carolinas report. This is brought to you by the Dead Dog Saloon. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Well, we're still out here on Weiss Lake, and I'm just having a great time watching these guys from Kentucky behind me. Got a little spot working right here, and they've got a little point with a little dock, and they're just literally catching these big old crappie one right after the next. They're just killing them. We'll just show you a couple of shots here of these fish. They're just coming in one right after another. And while we're doing this, I want to give you Lee Pitt's contact information. Lee is a guide here on the lake, and he'll bring you out here and catch you a bunch of these crappie. He stays on them year round. He knows what patterns they're on. He knows whether they're deep, shallow, or whatever. And if you give him a call at the number you see on your screen, he's a good friend of mine, and he can bring you out. If you'd like to have a great time here on Weiss Lake, stay with us. We'll be right back to Alabama right after this.
Be sure to join Fox Sports Outdoors again next week, Thursday night at 6, or catch the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. And you can always watch the latest episode in full HD on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Plus, catch up on all past episodes by clicking the archive button. And see lots of our how-to and product videos by selecting the how-to button. Join our online fishing community. Just click the like button on our Facebook page for access to daily posts with lots of fishing news, videos, and frequent giveaways. And stay up to date with all the latest fishing information and photos by following our Twitter feed. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Luz, fueled by passion, driven by innovation. Feel the difference. Jean LaRue Bass Baits and Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leaders in soft plastic lures innovation. And Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. James wants to know, do you use different kinds of chum for different species of catfish? For an answer, we asked catfishing expert Chad Ferguson of catfishedge.com.
As far as being able to make a chum that you can go out, throw in the water, and get catfish to respond to, you can really only do that for channel catfish, and they respond great to various chums. Now, blue catfish will respond to different chumming scenarios, I guess I would say, that nature creates, like roosting cormorants out on the water. But in terms of making something, going out and drawing catfish in, you can really only do that for channel catfish. I like to use soured wheat or milo. You just put it in a bucket, mix it up with water, let it sit for a while, go out, throw it out in the water, and just use a little bit of it, and it'll draw those channel catfish in so you can catch them.
Thank you, Chad. If you want some help from one of the pros, go to foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time for the Costa Catch of the Week, where someone wins a new pair of sunglasses.
We get to give away a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses each and every week at this point in the show on the Costa Catch of the Week. It's a contest that you can enter with your big fish photo and have a chance to win your own free pair of Costas. Here's this week's winner. He's Raymond Top of St. Simons Island, Georgia, with a 31-inch redfish he caught off Jekyll's Island in Georgia. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click in the Costa Catch of the Week box on the right side of the homepage and follow the instructions. You must be 18 years of age to be eligible to win. And if you'd like to see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa logo right on the front page. You'll go to their website. You can see all of the 580 polycarbonate and glass lenses and all of the variety of frames and colors, including the frame I was wearing on this week's episode. It's called SouthEAST. Next up on our gear feature, if you want to shoot docks like we did today, I want to show you the specific gear that you will need in order to be able to do that successfully. It begins with the right rod. This is the Lew's Wally Marshall Speed Shooter rod. It is a rod that is built specifically to shoot docks. It's 7 feet long. It's a medium light action rod. You can tell it by the green grips and the blue base. And here's what you do. You let that bait hang down about to the first guide, you pull it back, double the tip of that rod back, let go with your lure hand first and your trigger finger second, and that bait with a little practice will shoot right under those docks. You will need a specific bait to do that. This is the Bobby Garland Dock Shooter Jig Head, and I've got a brand new bait. That's the Crappie Shooter by Bobby Garland. That particular one is electric chicken in color. They make a lot of great colors, but it imitates a wounded and dying shad. It flutters to the bottom, and the cool thing about this jig head, I'll slide this bait down and you can see it's got ribs that will hold this bait up to the head as it's skipping across the surface of the water. For many years, anglers held on to the belief that the best chance for a fish to survive if you deep hooked it with live bait way down in its throat was to clip the line off the hook and leave that hook in the fish's throat, that it would rust away eventually. Well, that was true, but then they found out that many of those fish died from starvation. Why? Because with the entire shank and eye of that hook blocking that passageway of the fish's throat, that fish could not properly feed. So now the best thing to do is this. I went down to my local hardware store and I bought a pair of heavy wire cutters. Now when I deep hook a fish, all you have to do is reach way down in that fish's throat and use those wire cutters to clip the entire hook in two. Try to cut it flush with the fish's skin in his throat and leave nothing protruding if at all possible. That is the best chance a fish has to survive. Catch and release only works if we do the best job we possibly can. I hope you had fun watching our show this week from the far northeastern corner of Alabama, right on the Alabama-Georgia border at beautiful Weiss Lake. Lots of folks come spend their vacation here. There are tens of thousands of those crappie in this lake, and if you'd like to book your own guide trip, learn your way around the lake for a couple of days, you want to call Lee Pitts, the contact information you see on your screen. Hey, one more thing before we get out of here. We've changed a couple of things on our website for this year, and one of the coolest things is the new search feature on our archive page. We've got hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of videos, how-to videos, product videos, all of our past episodes. So many it's hard to search through those, but if you'll go to our archive page and right at the top you'll see a search bar, type in a couple of terms like the favorite lake that you'd like to go fish, and all of our videos under that subject will pop up. From Weiss Lake, Alabama, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.